Alright folks, little road footage for you. We have just entered the Dale Bumpers White River National Wildlife Refuge. So you probably saw a bunch of pickup trucks back there parked on the left side of the road. You see all this water off to the side. Those are probably guys out there deer hunting in the, or duck hunting in the woods. But I tell you, this trip has been very reminiscent for me so far today, because oh, there's a bunch more trucks there to the left. Water's up pretty high here. But you know, I grew up back there in that Helena, West Helena area where I delivered this morning, and I used to travel this way to go visit my grandmothers, one of whom lived just up here a few miles, and then the other one lived about 20 miles from there. We're going to be traveling the same route I used to travel as a kid to go visit my grandmother. But the interesting thing about this road here is that when I was a kid and we would travel through this part right here, a lot of times the White River, which we're going to cross up here in a minute, used to flood, and it would get over the road here. Sometimes they would have to close the road and you'd have to go around, add about an hour to the trip. But yeah, there's some good hunting area. I remember traveling through here before to go visit my grandmother, and I've seen a herd of deer that must have had 50 or 60 deer in it, standing off the side of the road. I've even, well, I should say there used to be a ferry up here up until sometime in the 1980s, and one of my grandfathers used to work the ferry. You know, he'd be one of the two guys operating the ferry. There's a bridge here now, but it used to be, you know, if there was a lot of traffic, you'd have to wait in line, you know, to get on the ferry and cross the river. It could only take about like 8 cars at a time. So when the water would be up high, but the road not closed, I've even fished off the side of the road here and caught fish when the water was up, while we were waiting in line to cross the ferry. I would fish over here off the side of the road. I've actually caught fish and crawdads. After the water had risen up here on the sides, see, here's the bridge. They built this bridge, I don't know, 30, 35 years ago, but this used to cross this river, there used to be a ferry. Grandfather worked on this ferry. But yeah, after the water would come up, get real high, and then recede back, there would always be lots of crawdads, and we would catch crawdads. I mean, they'd be everywhere, crossing the road. You could just see them walking around everywhere. Kind of weird. All right, so that sign there said we're leaving the wildlife refuge. This is what you call St. Charles, Arkansas. One of my grandmothers and grandpas lived right down the road here. If you make, if you turn right there, they lived right down there. And the other grandmother lived on down the road here about 20 or 30 miles. Anyway, there's some some of me remembering things from years ago, and some road footage for you. All right, folks, so we're approaching my shipper here in McGehee, Arkansas. At least I think I'm going in the right way. I can see the sign up there on the building. It says Harvest Rice. Supposedly we're picking up a load of rice bran. That's all I know. Alright, so this spot here says exit only, even though that truck went in there. I ain't gonna do it. Okay, so I see another truck back there to the left. Looks like he's unloading a hopper bottom. So hopefully down here I will find an entrance. Okay, let's see. Looks like there's a little check-in station here. Check-in at security station. So let me get out and check in here. All right, folks. So, nice lady came out there, told me how it needs to go. She said they've got 4 or 5 trucks already in the property in line to load, so they can't take any more right now. But she gave me this radio and told me to proceed down here to the what she calls the field and turn around and kind of get in line behind this other. There's a white truck down here that's in line, and she said when they're ready for me to come in, they'll call me on the radio. So, but she said it's been moving pretty quick. They've been loading trucks, you know, about every 20 minutes. So it sounds like it'll go, you know, pretty quick. She said wait to undo your tarp once you get into the property. Oh wow, they got a capacity here for a big old line if they needed it. Got a big old loop here for the line. That fella's already got his tarp off. I don't want to do that because it might rain. And there's another truck pulling in behind me. There's a bunch of blackbirds. Well, at least it's not a mud pit.
We can take the first truck off the field.
Okay, so there's somebody calling on the radio telling that white truck I just passed to come on in. So now I'm the first person in the field line. By golly. So we're in McGehee, Arkansas. When I worked at the newspaper in Little Rock, I used to work with a lady that I think hailed from McGehee, Arkansas, back in the day. Okay, so that's how it works here at Harvest Rice. So I'm going to stop right here and wait till they call me on the radio. All right, she just called over the radio and told the next 2 of us in line, which is all of us, come on in. So I've been sitting there parked for about 15 minutes maybe. Just enough time to have a little snack. Got my coffee pot ready to brew my next cup once I get ready to depart. It's not, I don't think it's an Oakley driver behind me. Excuse my sniffles. So I've got to turn in here and then stop and give her back this radio, and I guess get further instructions. Oh, whoa! There's a nice bump. Okay, more in a minute. Okay. Evidently they load more than one type of product, but she told me, okay, I got cars coming around here to the left, but she told me to make this left turn and get up on the scale. But for the product I'm getting, rice bran, I would probably be backing up to get loaded somewhere behind me. I don't know, but she said they would tell me. So let's get up on the scale and see what happens. Oh. Well, I tell you, you got to be careful getting on some of these scales, because if you ain't on there just right, you'll fall off. All right, so get back to you. So I got checked in there, got my paperwork. She had me open my tarp while I was on the scale. Oh, I got another car. We gotta watch out for cars around here, that's for sure. Turns out that truck that's behind me is delivering. But anyway, got my tarp off. She looked in the trailer to make sure it was reasonably clean. There was still a little bit of cottonseed that had fallen down in there, just a little, from being trapped up under the tarp and stuff. Although I did a pretty good job, you know, I worked pretty hard trying to get that stuff cleaned and out of there. Anyway, I'm supposed to come across this track, hook a left here, and then back up under that loading area that I just passed on my right. In case you're wondering what I'm doing. So, just trying to get lined up where I can back in there. All right, I'll try to show you some if I can. Okay guys, so I've gotten loaded. I got loaded underneath that loading area right there, and I pulled back around. I actually have done this once already, but they wanted me to get about 2,500 more pounds of product, so I had to go back over there, back in, and he dumped some more on the rear. According to my gauges, I could only take some more weight on the rear. And it's got me like right on 34,000 now, and so was the front. So that's all I can take according to my gauges. But then I've got to make a sharp turn here and then get back on the scale and go into the office to hopefully be okay. But I was going to try to climb up here and give you a look. I don't know, I might be able to open the door here. Nope, door's jammed. I had to buy this broom today, because yesterday I broke my broom. So that's what I did first thing today. I stopped at a Pilot and oh, let's see. Yeah, so there's the load. that's what we're carrying. So if they're okay with it, all I got to do is put my tarp over and we'll be good. But that's what we got. It's called rice bran. All right, more later. So I called Joey, my dispatcher, a few miles back, told him I was departing the shipper, and I noticed in my work notes it said to deliver this on Monday, but I know that Joey had told me before that I should deliver it today. So I called and told him that, and he goes, no, let's get it done today. And then he saw the notes in the order and said, well, let me call you back, let me check on this. So he checked, he called back, said, no, they receive until 5 o'clock today. Go ahead and get it delivered. And I should be able to get there by at least 4 o'clock. So we're gonna get it delivered today, and then he wants me just to deadhead back to the Oakley, North Little Rock yard and park for the weekend. So I'll be coming out Monday morning to the yard empty. Just have to go get a load there locally somewhere and get the week started. But the way it works at Oakley is I was gonna say if I could get whatever load I pick up Monday delivered and the paperwork sent in by Monday at 5, then it'll still get on this week's payroll. But that's not true. That you have to pick it up on Friday and get it delivered by Monday. So that won't count. That won't count. So anyway, it's been a decent week. I don't know what the miles and all were. I hadn't really added them up yet, but stayed pretty busy except for those couple of hours there on Thursday morning after I made that delivery in South Pittsburgh, Tennessee. Had to wait a couple of hours to get my next load. That's happened to me the last 2 Thursdays. This last Thursday, you know, I actually sat for about 4 or more hours. So anyway, that's the only negative about it, really. Still, you know, looking at my clock here on my TransFlow, after I get this load delivered and get back to North Little Rock, I'll still probably have 18 or 19 hours left on my 70-hour clock. And I would say that's happened to me 2 or 3 times where I've still got 15 to 20 hours. Now I know I've had a couple of short weeks, 2 or 3 short weeks in there due to holiday weeks and all. So that's not normal. But I will say that, you know, I can see pretty clearly already, even though I don't feel like I've got into a regular flow yet with my work because of the holidays, you know, and getting out, being new, getting started and all. I do feel like I'll be making more money and working less hours and having longer weekends. I can see that already. I'm just anxious to get into a better flow with more loads, kind of getting into a routine and getting my pay up higher than it has been, except for the first week. So yeah, but I can definitely see where I'm going to be making more money, working less hours, having longer weekends, and doing, you know, less work loading and unloading than I was doing with flatbed. So that's all good. I feel good about that. And it's cool learning about, you know, the new freight, new kinds of freight. Definitely different. So I sure would like to get my truck washed. But by the time I get back to the North Little Rock Oakley yard, the truck wash will be closed, I'm quite deal with that later. And I've been, you know, a lot of you guys have commented over the past few weeks about me getting some half fenders, and I definitely need them. I have some ordered. I also have some new mud flaps ordered, mud flaps and hangers, because one of my mud flap hangers on this truck, I just don't like them, for one thing, but one of them does not stay in position. You know, it works its way loose and it hangs down and drags the road. I mean, every time I walk around the truck checking my tires and stuff, I have to wiggle it back into position, you know. So I've got some of those ordered too. So hopefully all of that will come in by next weekend. I know, oh, got a phone call, more later. Okay, folks, so I'm pulled in to the Oakley fertilizer facility, for lack of a better term. And I believe I'm supposed to enter up here onto the scale and check in. And there was a fella back there that came up to me and said that probably with what I'm carrying, I'll be coming right back there to unload. So I don't know. You know, I've never been here before, as usual. So let's get up on the scale and see if I can get inside here and check in, show them my paperwork. Man, I had a heck of a time getting in here, going through the town of BB, because I had to go right through a, you know, school letting out. That wasn't any fun. All right, I'll get back to you. Okay, so I got scaled in. The nice folks in there told me to drive. I'm basically looping back around the facility here, kind of over to the area where I came in. And then he said there'll be a guy over here to help me get unloaded. Then I have to go back to the scale out, get my paperwork. Man, they need to trim these bushes here. Oh, mercy. At least it's not muddy, huh? Okay. So this is some sort of, you know, they have an operation here where they bag fertilizer on these, I don't know, super sacks, I guess. I don't know, maybe they do smaller bagging too. I don't really know. Just giving you a look. I don't have much disc space left on this disc, so I won't be able to show a whole lot. But I believe I'm supposed to unload over here somewhere. See if this fellow's gonna tell me where I need to be. I'm gonna go ahead and start taking my tarp off. Okay guys, so let me show you, well, let me show you from out here first. You see they got different bins here storing different products. So he told me to back in here, and I'm going to do this with a swing gate, so I don't, if I open my gate up like a barn door out there, I would spill a lot of product. You can see some of my products already come out just from releasing my gate right here. So as I lift the trailer up, this gate's going to swing out like this, all right, and dump, all right, and then I'll just gradually pull out, give it room to fall. So that's what we got, and this is Rice Bran, it's called. Let me check my rear tires before I start lifting the trailer. You want to make sure your rear tires are good. All right, let's start dumping this out. Okay guys, real quick, Here's my load. I've already got my trailer tightened back up, my tarp over. I swept it out one pass and then went through it with my little electric blower, and that got it pretty well cleaned out. Let's show you. Yeah, you can't see, it's dark. But that's it. And that's it. Rice Bran. Okay, so I got to scale out, get my paperwork. Then I'm going to the North Little Rock Oakley yard to park for the weekend. Yeah, I may show some there. We'll see. Okay, guys. I need to do a quick weekly recap for you. Now, this recap information is going to be for last week, you know, where I left out here on Sunday, drove up around St. Louis, and then picked up a load. You know, I went up to Wausau, Wisconsin, empty from here. Got a load of roofing shingles, then went to Missouri, then went over to Illinois, back to Missouri, and then deadheaded to North Little Rock. So got home on Friday morning pretty early. So left out on Sunday around 11, left here my house around 11:30, drove about maybe 6.5 hours, and then got home early Friday. So my total miles for that week was 2,093. That was for 1,124 empty miles, 969 loaded miles. So that gave me, let's see, my gross revenue for that week was a little over $4,800, and my net was $3,567. So, you know, that's all the revenue from the trips, and then it deducts out my fuel purchases, you know, and some of those expenses like base plates, the geo-tab, my escrow for the trailer damages, occupational accident insurance, non-trucking liability insurance, my pre-pass fee, stuff like that. I'm going to go into a lot of that later. I'm just trying to get more time under my belt here with Oakley before I delve into, you know, a lot of the money and expense issues. Because, you know, when I started at Oakley about what was it, month ago, maybe 5 weeks ago, pushing 6 weeks, I guess. You know, I've had it was really kind of people have told me it's really kind of the worst time to start, you know, because the holidays, the scheduling's kind of weird because of the holidays, and freight typically slows down a little bit anyway. So just trying to get a few more weeks under my belt, you know, kind of get into a rhythm and see how things settle down and kind of get into some normalcy. But that's what we got. And for this coming week, you know, I came home. I got home Friday afternoon, deadheaded home from Beebe, Arkansas. I made that delivery up there at the Oakley warehouse, fertilizer distribution warehouse, I'll call it. And then deadheaded back here, you know, about a 45-minute trip. So I'm parked at the Oakley North Little Rock yard, empty. And so I'll be coming out. I'll probably get out to my truck, you know, around 7 when the dispatchers show up for work, and you know, see where they want me to go, get loaded. We'll get the week started. So, but that's a quick recap. All right, more later.